So in our last stream, we went over Coyote Lovely. Coyote Lovely got outed for having an infatuous flirtation with a notorious zoophile, Hypnotist Sappho, and predator, Hypnotist Sappho. Hypnotist Sappho is definitely a locale. I think it's very interesting that Coyote got outed for it. It took a little bit. It took some time for Lio Convoy to completely disavow and not associate with anymore with Coyote Lovely. But during that journey that Lio had to go through with Coyote Lovely, Zrcarlo, a roommate of Coyote Lovely's, was in the mix and was doing pretty shady things. And Coyote Lovely at the time was just kind of dismissing what they did. They even victim blamed the victims of Bluemere and Zrcarlo, all because Zrcarlo was their roommate. So we are going to dive deeper for today into Zrcarlo's actions.
Carlo is a 34-year-old known for running the transphobic L's Twitter account who recently caught themselves in a bit of a controversy, one that we'll go over later in the video. After surrounding myself with this situation and seeing what was going on, I decided to look into this person themselves and see what was up with them. After doing some digging around, I learned that
yes, tomatoes in the chat for Coyote and Zrcarlo for sure. Boo them.
Carlo has a much deeper history full of manipulation and disturbing details one can only describe as utterly insane. When I say insane, I truly mean it, because I don't think I have ever had to bear witness to something so crazy in all my time on making videos on YouTube, and that's saying something given some of my past content on this channel. The rabbit hole we're about to go down together is one of, if not the deepest on a—
I think Zrcarlo still goes by he pronouns, so I'm going to try my best to say he pronouns
channel yet, but before our journey begins, let's hear a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. That's right, the Raid Shadow Legends, one of the most popular—
Oh my god, okay. I don't care about Raid Shadow Legends. It's great that you have a sponsor, W Lanza.
Carlo's internet history started off pretty normal. He would draw artwork for money in the furry fandom because that's what they do on that side of the internet. Unfortunately for us, some of that artwork was gore fetish artwork, and of course I can't show the bottom half to y'all, but let's just say there's a third party down there who's not exactly all together. I'm sure y'all—
So they did used to draw snuff porn. Is that what they call it? Snuff porn? I don't understand why people are into that. It's disgusting.
You can tell by the ketchup stains from their definite meal of burgers and fries, and his fascination with this kind of stuff goes as far back as 2007, when he made a bird taxidermy tutorial when he was around 19 years old, and even in—
So, oh, that was one thing I needed to clarify on. Someone in my comment section said, Thuman, hi Thuman, hey Leah, are you planning on going down the FCK rabbit hole? I have gone down the FCK rabbit hole. I think I need to watch the conversation with Nezzy Monster that Akumu had. But yes, in short, I have already gone down it, and I'm in the art commentary community rabbit hole in general. But thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. W Thuman. What was I gonna say? Oh, someone in my comment section said that the fox puppet that Zrcarlo had was actually a dead fox. So somebody said it earlier in my chat on the last stream, or the Coyote Lovely stream, saying that it was a dead fox, and I was like, no way, nuh-uh, that's not a dead fox. It actually is. It actually is.
In 2009, after making YouTube videos using old science footage which shows a dog's head, that's right, just a dog's head, and another of a fox they taxidermied. Some old messages from a forum post in 2010 would come out, showing that at one point he planned on, well, you can tell by what the images on screen say pretty easily, and even joke around about what he
I know, right? Strawberry, it's so gross. Absolutely gross.
wanted to do to him too, only making it much worse.
I did not know that they were into taxidermy. I researched it and it's really disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. What they did in the FCK server, so freaking gross.
We can already see that this person ain't
Like I even want to know what was in that hidden channel. Like I really wish they would just unhide it and come out with the logs already, but we will never know what's in that channel.
exactly the most pleasant human being to exist, and in fact, they even scammed someone out of 15 bucks when selling art at a furry convention on October 28th.
So it reads, I took my 15-year-old granddaughter to her first fur con on October 28th. After circling the dealer's den many times, she commissioned this artist to do a badge of her persona. She paid Zrcarlo 15 in cash for a gold badge. A photo was taken of her persona, and the information was written down in their ledger, i.e., name, address, special details. Communications have been taking place afterwards on Twitter. I think she copies a lot of the, I think the copies of the communication will speak for itself. As of today, January 7th, 2019, the last communications I sent was December 30th, 2018. She has been ignored by Zrcarlo, or has been ignored by Zrcarlo. At this point, other furries have come forward to compensate my granddaughter with their kindness. I don't want anything from Zrcarlo. I want others to be aware of their unprofessional business practice.
28th, 2018. The person would leak the messages between the two, and after being led around for about 2 months, they made
Thuman says, I interviewed the victims on the FCK server and they told me there was a NSFW channel for a 15-year-old artist to spam Cornin. That's crazy. Are the interviews are up on your channel, correct, Thuman?
made a formal
I'm not going to read these texts.
complaint in which Carlo would say that because his cat got sick, he screwed up his artwork process, then saying he won't be vending at the con anymore. He would even go on to straight up lie and say that he was the person who created the smile dog creepypasta image before being caught out on his shit and deleting the message. So, we can put together this person is definitely weird, and not no normal weird, but like really weird with interest in some pretty vile stuff.
Hey, Zad.
So normally, things like this would be an open and closed case. We can also see he's a liar for what seems to be no
Strugs, so this is Zrcarlo. These are several tweets. Heyo, I was the one who made the smile dog. I have original files. The date of the files are older, but the original one I can find. I can tell you about the origin and how I came up with it with a few individuals as well. It is like that's so terrifying. This is nasty.
other reason than trying to get internet clout, and he still likes to take things a step further, and in a direction that ain't exactly shocking, but still disturbing nonetheless. Carlo will end up getting himself affiliated with the alt furry group sometime in late 2018. During his time with these people, he'd involve himself with popular alt furry places like the Furry Raiders and
Thuman says it was later deleted, but the fact that so many art commentary creators posted corn was talked sexually with minors as young as 15 is wild to me. I know, right? It's crazy. And the creators knew these ages for a fact. There's no denying that from them. I'm working on a video on the FCK. It's not out yet. Okay, well, I'll keep an eye out for it. For sure, I'll keep an eye out. Peaches was in the FCK server, and then the then 15-year-old minor told me that Peaches would talk about her sex life and their then BFF's genitals in front of him. Yeah, I heard that. It's just so insane. How do you just forget that? You can't. There's no way. There is no way. There's no way to just forget that.
Xanadu, and would spread his own hatred around on both his main and alt account Blue Fox, becoming an admin in Xanadu in the process, further affiliating himself with people like Blamir, a straight up pedophile, and Foxler, this dude right here. After going through a couple of hateful posts from Carlo like the ones you're seeing on screen, I pulled some strings and managed to get a hold of the Xanadu moderation chat itself, which doesn't really show much other than Carlo being further affiliated with the chat, banning people for miscellaneous things. The 2018 Zoo sadism scandal would happen, and in doing so, a whole bunch of
Click this. No more covering for these people. These are not zoo files are. What zoo files are.
leaks that aren't important for this video would come out, like with Kira the Wolf for example, all from Akela, also known as Zoodonym, a zoophile themselves who originally leaked everything because they felt that Kira and the squad were worse than him, despite both parties being zoophiles. Soon after all this, Carlo would start up a
Just to imagine being exposed by a zoo file. I would hate that. Oh my god.
new Telegram channel with Akela called ZSIS in order to hunt down zoophiles with other people. Carlo has admitted that Akela and him were the big bosses of the chat, and has even implied there could be good zoos based on another message he sent. He would say he maintains alliances with zoophiles in order to get results for himself, and has straight up said he knows there are zoophiles in the chat, despite, apparently hunting these people down. Carlo will even make a post on his Twitter account about how in times like these, people need to lay everything down and work together to expose these.
That goth girl, welcome. Welcome. Wait, what the fuck about Holy Majesty? Yeah, the lore about Zrcarlo is pretty insane. This person is definitely demented. Like, it's puzzling to me like how these kind of people like exist, because this is definitely something that I don't live by. It's alien behavior. It's out of character, and it's just like I don't understand how people are like this.
Zoophiles, a noble message at first glance, only for it to come out later that Carlo actually planned to use this situation to fuck around with the furry fandom and try to pick
So they were like trolling.
people against each other, which is beyond insane and hypocritical.
I'm not gonna read these. I won't read these screenshots.
All for the sake
We'll just continue for the sake of continuing.
of internet clout and drama. These leaks will lead to more racist statements coming out, and in doing so end up getting kicked out of Arizona Telegram channels, in which he tried to make his own to circumvent and control the narrative, and would complain about one of the leakers making his friends cry after he got exposed for being an anti-Semitic manipulative piece of shit.
Anti-Semitism, really? That's offended. That's offensive.
Leakers making his friends cry after he got exposed for being an anti-Semitic manipulative piece of shit. Even as recent as 2020, Carlo would try to imply that he was the one who led the investigation, before someone went on to remind him he used the chat to promote political gay ops, and that's not even mentioning again, he made a server with a known zoophile and teamed up with known zoophiles to get the info he wanted. Sometime at the beginning of 2022, Carlo would put out an export of the ZSIS stuff that went down, basically trying to downplay some of the bad stuff he's done and said, saying it was Foxler who leaked the messages of him running political gay ops out of malice.
This is Zrcarlo. This post above is a Twitter link showing two out of context screenshots that was leaked by Foxler Nightmare because he simply was mad. No other reason. I honestly don't know why the kid's being used as a screenshot of anything. I legit was trying to get people to stop fighting with each other about politics and band together to fight zoo sadism.
That they were actually trying to get people to not fight each other, when the message is the furthest thing from that. Some DM leaks of how he was such a good person for exposing a zoophile would come out, but he would then try to villainize someone for going AWOL for not wanting to affiliate with zoophiles and running these ops, which if you ask me, is a pretty—
That's what? That's pretty horrible. You're getting on to people for going AWOL. Now I show the sabotage that happened from an ex-admin who decided she didn't want to work with zoos. Are you kidding me? Dude, this is nuts. Who were providing the information that was leading to arrests and didn't want to work with blank, obviously, moral piety or whatever, and virtue signaling, piety, or I don't know, virtue signaling was her goal as her group ended for far before Zeiss did.
Pretty damn good reason to get the hell out of Dodge. The whole
Why would you name your group Zeiss? Like, okay, like whatever. I don't understand this. I literally don't. Hi CC baby girl. Welcome. The only thing I know about Zrcarlo is that they lived with that one furry in the Senate. Yeah, they live with Coyote Lovely. They did.
export is him basically.
They lived with Coyote Lovely up until their apartment burned down, and then they stopped living with each other. I speculate that and a lot of other people speculate that Zrcarlo and Coyote Lovely had a relationship, like some kind of relationship. I wouldn't be surprised because Coyote Lovely in the past has been or got outed for or was outed for flirting with hypnotist Sappho. So I would not be surprised if that's true.
Basically trying to show people he's actually a good person for exposing all these people, but fails to emphasize that he worked with known zoophiles to get said info in a group chat he made that he knew was full of them, which if you ask me, is pretty damn weird. On March 30th, 2021, the Twitter account Zoophile Strugs would make a call-out post on Blamir for grooming a 16-year-old. For some indiscernible reason that I can't figure out, Carlo decided to start beef with the account, perhaps to protect his friend, perhaps for drama or clout, I have no idea. One of the mods of that account will come out about their own personal experience, and Carlo will start to chastise them, saying how the therapy he was in didn't help him at all, and only.
So the mod says, okay, one last question, and or Zrcarlo says, one last question, you don't need to answer this. What on earth happened when you were 9 to make you like this? When you were 19, you said you were in therapy for 10 years. What the fuck did they do to you? Then the mod says, why the fuck would I tell you? You've made fun of my grooming for 3 months and said it was deserved because I got zoo files removed. Pudgy, thank you for the $5. I really appreciate it. W Pudgy. Pudgy says Coyote was like, I can fix her. Then he got me caught and he got caught in 4K for it. Yes. So true. That is really true. And Coyote dated the other furry who was a zoophile. So I don't think they dated, but they were like, they were flirting. They were for sure flirting. Zrcarlo also dated a minor. Yes. And Hypnotist Sappho. So both of these people that Coyote had an interest in, Zrcarlo and Hypnotist Sappho. Pudgy, thank you for the $5. $5 super chat. Thank you. Both Zrcarlo and Hypnotist Sappho have dated minors and have been outed for it. So it's absolutely disgusting. So gross. Because I get zoo files removed, it's none of your business, especially because you victim blame and just say, or just because I was abused, I'm an abuser. And then Zrcarlo says, I'm actually asking what the therapist did to you because I think they fucked you up. I know if I would have gone to therapy as a teen, I probably would be dead right now. I've done nothing. I've had nothing but bad experiences.
They fucked him up even more, basically just being a condescending asshole. This beef will lead to a Google document from Zoo Strugs going over everything we talked about already, including some new things as well. One of them is that when Zoo Strugs put out a warning to stay away from a random degenerate person, Carlo would send a reply showing that he DM'd the person themselves, trying to twist the narrative and say that Zoo Strugs was sending people to them when that wasn't the case. In a live call, he would reiterate that once more as well.
Like that.
Did you look up this link? Did you go onto that chat?
Yeah.
Did you ask that person for did you?
Actually DM'd them and said, hey.
You DM'd the person who disseminates this porn.
Yeah.
The end of the document threatens to dox Carlo along with a leaked message basically saying the same exact thing, with Carlo acknowledging
How? Like, why? Why are you threatening to dox people? This is just, guys, just no threatening to dox people. That's just no. Just stop. Zrcarlo says you're 17 and you refuse to block minors and tell them not to interact with you.
That one of the mods who ran the account was a minor a few days later. It gets better though, as along with the ZSIS export I mentioned,
Anthony Logato, thank you for the $4.99 and your first super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Speaking of grooming, have you heard what Cog's brother said about him? No, I do not know about Cog. Coyote needs to get help because there goes his 5-star review. Definitely, for sure.
he also made an official response to the claims of messaging a predator to epically own Zeus drugs. It turns out he actually faked the DMs and posted a video along with it showing him doing so, and still
I don't like how Zrcarlo sound proud by saying yes when he answers the question. It's so true. It's disgusting. If you take pride in that kind of behavior, you're an evil person. That's what I think.
tries to run with the narrative that
Anthony, again, thank you for the $4.99. I really appreciate it. W.
They were telling people how to contact them while trying to say that he was actually the good guy, trying to show how dangerous it all was. It's already obvious that Zeus Drugs made this as a warning post and Carlo was trying to twist the narrative around, and to see Carlo try to manipulate the narrative further is honestly pathetic. Eventually, after all this goes down, Zeus Drugs would shut down their Twitter account, and Carlo would take the app once he was able to, basically taking over the account. Now, we can already tell that Carlo is quite the individual with a pretty storied internet past. The furry gore stuff, the anti-Semitism, the Zoofout Telegram chat, internet past, the furry gore stuff, the
I want to see what the anti-Semitism is because I'm Jewish. I take offense to that specifically. I don't like anti-Semitism. Corpse that don't burn fast. Also, why there are so many. Oh, so they're denying that. They're denying something. They're denying a major event. Yeah, that's anti-Semitism. That's for sure.
Semitism, the Zoofout Telegram chat. It's all some pretty crazy shit. Add the manipulation with the Zeus drug situation, and we have ourselves one of the most interesting people we've covered on this channel. Of course, most of this went under the radar given it was rather niche furry internet drama, and so Carlo would go on with his life, starting a new Twitter account with some friends to entertain themselves and have a good time. Transphobic L's is a Twitter account started in June 2022.
Thuman says, I don't think I'll be covering Senate, but I'm still thinking over if I want to talk about the peach. I think it would be a great segue. If you do talk about peaches, it would be great to like cover them in the FCK stuff. Like I covered the FCK stuff, but I didn't go as in depth as others were. So I think if you go in depth with it, it would be great. Like I was thinking the other day it would be nice just to have like one video of like absolutely everything covered, but that would be a very long video because it's a lot of stuff to cover.
Owned by Zrcarlo and ran in tandem with 3 other people. Aya, an 18-year-old that goes by Shark Mod, Els, a 16-year-old that goes by Dog Mod, Maui
Hey Patchwork
Mod, whose age and identity is unknown, and of course Carlo themselves, a 34-year-old that goes by Axe Mod. The Twitter account wasn't anything particularly interesting, it would mainly just post transphobic people taking L's, hence the name. It would gain relative popularity in a short amount of time, at one point getting upwards of over 50k followers in just a few months. However, this would be short-lived, as the controversy would come out and lead down an insane rabbit hole that nobody expected to go this deep. On October 29th, I would make a thread on his alt account about who they are as a sort of introduction for people, and in said thread he straight up says he's a zoophile. People put 2 and 2 together pretty quick, and so they started to demand the mods of transphobic L's to drop this dude off the team, but instead of dropping him immediately.
So he says, I'm an anti-contact zoophile. I'm against bestiality and animal abuse and do not support any belief held by pro-contact zoophiles. I've never and will never harm an animal. The common symbol that is used to affiliate anti-contact zoophilia is
Immediately, once the news came out, an unknown mod would make a post saying that there are no zoo files on the mod team and block a bucket load of messages of people demanding Aya to be dropped. They would try to push through the controversy and post like normal, but people weren't letting it up at all, and so their follow numbers would start to drastically falter as time went on. Eventually, Carlo made an official response, saying how they came from such a dark place, you know, a place of running and posting anti-Semitic response, saying
So it says, "Hey X mod here. I want to make a statement. I've made this account to fight off an anti-trans account on my own accord. No coercion, no pretending, nothing. I made this account because I was passionate about what I want to fight for. I came from a very dark place." Anthony, thank you for the $4.99. I really appreciate it. Can we watch a 2-minute video of Cog's brother making some startling accusations? Thank you for the $4.99. I guess like send it to me. We're not going to do it tonight. If you like, if you're on my Twitter, you can send it, and maybe I can do a live stream on it or something, but not tonight. Now I'm going to make another statement. I'm seeing young teenagers, kids start anti-zoo accounts based off of the drama from this account. These kids are, or these are kids who want to expose, again, Anthony, thank you for the $4.99. These kids who want to expose predators by exposing themselves to predators. Please do not, you do not know what you're getting into.
and how they came from such a dark place. You know, a place of running and posting anti-Semitic trash, running a Telegram chat full of zoo files, and faking DMs on someone who outed a predator they were affiliated with. Yeah, super dark place, all on his own accord. But it's okay guys, Shark Mod was now officially taken off the mod team, so all is good, right? Nope, and this is where I get involved, because let me tell you, the chain of events that led me to this story is a story in of itself. So, Aya is the person who leaked this DM back when I made my Hypnotist Safu video showing she knew she was doxing a minor, and I messaged him after seeing that Safu retweeted something of his and found it suspicious. As I was talking to him, for some reason my gut was telling me to look more into this guy, and so I found out he was the shark mod in question that's a zoo file.
Wait, that's insane.
Me to look more into this guy, and so I found out.
Holy shit, you are a mod? What are the chances? Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm the infamous shark mod. Jesus.
He was the shark mod in question that's a zoo file. I had seen the drama already but hadn't dug into it yet, and when the pieces are put together, it all became pretty obvious. That's right, my leaker, someone who I worked with, is a zoo file. After getting over my initial shock, I started to bully him because I have no respect for zoo files, and so he would wipe our Telegram chat because the app lets people clear DMs on both sides. He then, for what God knows what reason, started up a Twitter space, and so I joined in to listen to see what was going on. After hearing him deadass say this,
I do take precautions. I don't leave myself alone with an animal. I don't do that. I make sure I'm...
Bro, what? This is disgusting. I just might wait for Lion's response. Yeah, it might be good to wait for Lion's response. It should be coming out. Like I got word that he was working on it. So it should be coming out. Dude, I can't believe somebody is saying this. Elite Shark is saying that.
With someone. You know,
he has to be watched by animals. Like, you're nasty, gross, like fucking gross. So gross.
As a precaution.
I knew I had to get myself back in all this because there's no way in hell I'm gonna let people spew this bullshit around me, and so I got in and promptly started going at it.
How the f am I gonna be respectful to a zoo file?
Don't leave yourself alone with an animal with the fresh out. Yeah, I know, right, Caesar? Like, if you lack that much impulse control to where you would do that, like, you probably shouldn't function in a society. That's all I'm going to say. But it's Miku month, though. Yeah, it's Miku month.
Exactly. Like what he said. Like, no one is going to be respectful to elite, bruh.
I know.
The problem with the problem is if we're not respectful, we aren't going to get anywhere. And at that point, you're Just
Chester,
be
what's
civil
the-
is all
what's
I'm
the
asking.
point? What's
I
the
am being
point?
civil, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat what I'm trying to say. The dude is a zoophile. He said himself, like, what, 10 minutes ago? He's afraid of being around an animal alone. Anybody in here listening to this who has, like, a working brain understands this mother.
Hey, Laka. What response is that? It's an unhinged response. Incredibly unhinged response. Hey, Leah, do you want to come to my birthday party? Sure. Yeah, sure. I don't know if I can. Like Discord birthday party? What?
Is, like, in the head right now.
Didn't say
Like, I'm
I
gonna
was
keep it real with y'all.
was uncomfortable.
Lanza speaking facts. Yeah, there was one time where like I joined a Lanza Twitter space, and it was like he was confronting someone. I can't remember who. It was like sometime last year. Respectful to a zoophile. Yeah, there's no respect for it. Yeah, for sure. Zooid.
I mean,
You said what?
me personally, even though they claim to be anti-contact, I wouldn't trust them around an animal anyways.
And that's fine.
Exactly, bro.
Like to me there's like no difference between anti-contact and like contact. You if you are like a zoophile, there's something wrong with you. There's definitely something wrong with you, okay?
Fine. I'm totally fine with that statement.
Dog, how are you fine with that? That means you're in the head.
Okay. Is this gonna be your rhetoric against me? That
I mean, shit, it's working pretty well, so yeah. I mean, what the like what? Ooh, I'm epically owning you or whatever. You're a zoophile, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like, listen,
I feel like this.
just please get help, bro.
I mean,
Like, I don't know what else to say. You're acting like it's not a big deal. Like, oh, well, it's just a troll or whatever, bro. Oh, no, they're just being mean, bro. Or they're being rude to me, bro. I may be a zoophile.
Hey Tara. Darth Tara says perfect timing to listen in while I look at all new-ish with Ruby Frankie. LOL. Oh, is there like new stuff that has come out? Did her sentencing happen? I saw the pictures of Ruby Frankie and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." I saw the ankle picture specifically and I was just like, "That's disgusting." I have no idea how a mom could have treated her kid like that.
But at least I'm not rude. That's the kind of shit I'm getting from you, bro. I mean, shit, yeah, like low key, yeah, I do hope he gets help, because I just see a lot of people hanging around these weird ass people on Twitter. It's like, damn, bro, just get off the internet, go get help before you end up like, what's her name, Hypnotist Sappho or some shit, trying to date a 14-year-old or something.
Now I want to pause right here because this person talking is Carlo himself, and at the time I knew nothing about him. The only thing I knew was seeing his name brought up once or twice during the research for my Hypnotist Sappho video. He offers me info on Sappho, and then I tell him I heard his name around because I found it interesting to see him in this call.
But
Carlo,
anyway,
ain't you got your own dirt?
yeah.
I'm about to
You wanna
say,
talk about
I've heard your name somewhere. I don't remember. I have to look into you because I've been seeing your name around whenever I dig into this side of the internet, whenever I make videos.
Time goes on, and he talks about how all these people are messed up on his side of the internet and how he fears for his privacy.
Yeah, that's Zrcarlo.
And so I start to tell him that nobody here is his friend and he needs to stick out for himself.
These people aren't your friends, bro. I'm not your friend. Nobody in here is your friend. No offense, but nobody in here is your friend, bro. You gotta stick for yourself. If these people are f***ing you over, get yourself out of there.
I'm your friend.
Thank you.
What Carlo said there,
Dude, that's nasty.
really interested me. Him being his friend and Aya thanking him back, it felt so strange. And so after saying my piece, I would leave the call and start to look into Carlo more and see what's up. Lo and behold, I found something that don't exactly paint him in a very good light, and that's saying something given all we've gone over thus far. A Google Doc will come out showing that Carlo, our owner of a Telegram channel that housed zoophiles so he can hunt them down, was a zoophile himself. Not shocking, but still disgusting. After skimming through the doc, I grabbed screenshots I wanted to talk about and rejoined the Twitter space later knowing I'd be let back in eventually because I wasn't rude to him earlier. Someone else managed to get ahead of me, and Carlo's response to them exposing him live in the call was surely something to behold.
And then the seductive.
Can you send me that?
Pardon?
Can you send me this? Because I've not seen
Yeah, shit, I don't know how to. I'm on. I can send you a Google Drive, but then I have to go to my Twitter. Can you, like, DM me on Twitter? And I can do it on my computer?
Yeah, because I have not seen those logs. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Google Drive. Where is it in this? What is this? Holy
Carlo.
mother!
The whole convo would basically be Carlo trying to be sneaky about it and imply their ex, Oliver, who was the one who initially exposed Naya Okami was dating Sappho, was faking some but not all the DMs, and after
Oh my god, no way. No way. They're completely blaming the ex. They're like, yeah, it's my ex exposing me. They're lying. That's crazy. How? How? That's crazy. What? You think that's like a good excuse or good reasoning? No, that's not. Pudgy for the $5. Thank you. Pudgy says we are far away from God's light and closer to Brazil. Thank you, Pudgy. The fact that there are zoophile Twitter spaces is crazy as fuck. Yeah, it definitely is. This was back when like Twitter spaces were like freaking popular. Strawberry says if you want the Zrcarlo Discord call on archive, if you look it up, look up the Zrcarlo call archive. Okay, well, I think we're about to go over it in the next once we're done with this one. We'll go over it.
After listening to all this manipulation, mental gymnastics, and lies, I was finally able to get back in the call and bully him like he deserves to be.
And I'm gonna go ahead and read a couple of things that really spicing up the mood going on here. One of the things is that Carla has said, now though, I only date people who know I'm a zoo.
Carla.
What?
We've already discussed that.
No, but there's
we've
more.
already discussed.
No, but there's more.
Yeah, I know there's
We've
more.
already discussed it.
Pudgy, thank you for the 5. I really appreciate it.
I want you to add. I want to ask you, where do I go from here?
I don't know.
If I have already denounced
this doesn't make you look very good. I only date people who know I'm a zoo. That was my mistake the other times. Also, one day you'll hear me rant about how I want to get raped by a dog.
Dude, nasty.
So where do you want me to go from?
Like, why? Why would you like? Oh my god, that's nasty. That is gross. Why would you do that? Why would you want that? Oh my god, I can't, guys. This is a bad topic. I shouldn't have picked it. Ugh. Oh my god, this is insane. We gotta learn it. We gotta know. We have to know. I have to know this stuff. I gotta know this stuff.
For me, it's not really about the personality. It's about the animal. I can't really describe it past that.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
We need to bring Twitter Spaces back, to be honest. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Why'd you type it then?
I hate it.
You're trying to like say, oh, where do I go from here when I'm reading all this shit that's dirt on you? I know you're just trying to like fast forward it. What else?
No, no. Okay, let's go back because evidently you were not listening.
Obviously, a talk.
Sacrifice your brain cells for us, Leah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to.
Too many zoos on both of my accounts. It depends on how deep you want to dive. Both accounts, huh? Interesting.
You know what? No, I don't. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep
I have a folder, but it's just full.
Pudgy says pain. Thank you for the $2. I really appreciate it. Thanks again, Pudgy. This is making my ears bleed. Patchwork says, or Shiloh says, is it okay if I call you Shiloh? I like the name Shiloh. I just whatever. I'm gonna call you Patchwork until you say it's okay if I call you Shiloh. A lot of folks develop maladaptive paraphilias to cope with their trauma, but that doesn't excuse inherent harm and indulging those intrusive thoughts. Yeah, you make a good point right there. Maybe I need to keep that in mind. You can call me Shiloh. Okay. Thank you. Lee, are you going to cover the Senate call where Lio yells at Zrcarlo too? I can't remember if Lanza does. Yes, I'm going to cover it.
full of animals. Holy shit!
Already addressed that. Already addressed
I want to
that.
get by a dog. What? I don't want to promote bestiality. Bestiality should be promoted. It should only be hush hush between responsible individuals in a small community that can keep accountability. What? Holy shit! Wow. Of course, there's the lolly one that they mentioned, and then I just want a dog to me. Lol.
Lonza, I really forgot how I preferred Coyote Lovely over you, and this kind of reminds me why.
I'm going to let everybody in here listen to what the messages say before I go any further.
Okay.
Right now, Carlo has said a lot of really weird shit, and then they're trying to interrupt me while I'm reading it so they can defend themselves and be like, I don't remember sending that. What? Like, come on, man, really? This is from you, bro. You're saying the person who sent it is up. I don't care if they're up or not. I don't really care if you hate them or not. This shit that was sent is still up that what you said. They said some weird shit too, but I don't care about that person. I care about you.
Back to the Google Doc, it had a multitude of interesting stuff in it, like how admitting he doesn't care about the victims or perpetrators so long as he gets his results, and how when Sappho was dating Kylo, he didn't think a 4-year age gap was all that bad. Another has them admitting to defending
a 4-year age gap. What? Oh my, that's a hot take.
And how when Sappho was dating,
you're fine, but yeah, to be honest, Sappho being 20 and Kylo being 16, not something I would care about at all. 20 and 16, I would fucking care about. What? This is like really bad. Like, whoa. Like, oh my God. Why would you say this? Like, why do you believe that? Let's keep in mind what Patchwork said. Let's keep in mind. 20 and 16. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Kylo, he didn't think a 4-year age gap was all that bad. Another has them admitting to defending Cub, and then adding it along with their known gore fetish. Remember that stuff with Zeus drugs and how he harassed and made fake DMs and tried to pretend like he was on the higher ground? Turns out he actually did it on purpose to purely fuck with them, trying to lie and say that they were hurting others to justify it to himself, and it was all because it exposed his friend Blamir to their followers. It gets
Pudgy says, as someone who is bisexual, zoos and pedos are not welcome in the LGBT space. And they should get help. They definitely should.
Worse though, as it would turn out that Dan, one of the mods of Zeus drugs, the 17-year-old minor that Carlo referenced earlier, was doxxed by him in a group of people, with him clearly stating here in DMs between the two of them how exactly they did so, by looking at the email that made the Google Doc. Carlo would send a screenshot of the group chat with the people, in which they would send a message clearly with the intent to get Dan to commit from all the harassment. Carlo would joke about sending diapers in the mail to her house and how this harassment is driving her insane, and sure enough, Dan would get exactly that in the mail, along with a box showing off the Zeta symbol Zoo files latch onto. Carlo would feign an apology to Dan that wasn't accepted, and rightfully so, and Dan would go in on him, showing how Carlo was trying to slander her name and say she was distributing bestiality pictures to minors. Carlo would ask how did he let predators hurt her, which is pretty easy to answer given he worked with them to get minors doxxed and fuck with their life for no discernible reason other than pure malice. Carlo also tried to flip roles and imply that Dan isn't a victim straight to her face, which is absolutely insane and shows how manipulative this person is. Carlo would defend himself by saying that back in August they got over their urges suddenly, and uses the example of how when they were in a house fire, he didn't think of saving his cats to really hammer in how little he cares for animals all of a sudden.
Wow, not saving your house cats when they're in the fire. It's horrible. So that fire was, just remember that fire was a fire that that occurred in an apartment where Coyote Lovely lived with Zrcarlo. Why are you guys talking about lyrics? Robin, what? Why are you talking about lyrics? This isn't a lyrics chat. I don't know why you're talking about lyrics. In fact, Robin, you know what? We're just not going to talk about lyrics. We're not going to talk about Sun. I'm just going to hide this chat, okay? 10 seconds. We're not talking about lyrics. Thank you, Robin.
More leaks will come out, this time of a group chat called ZapF, run by Carlo, and has a multitude of zoo files in there chatting, such as the admin himself, and interestingly enough, the current 14-year-old that Hypnotist Sappho is dating is in there as well. The leaks take place over a 10-day period between October 12th to October 22nd, 2022, and are mostly just people talking around about whatever the hell is going on, such as Carlo and his multitude of pictures he took while selling stuff at a convention, Sappho herself, and the 14-year-old apparently having her phone number. I would admit he's easily manipulatable, yet hangs around these parts of the internet, and he states how he has influence and joined the staff team of another server he deemed would be potential trouble to keep tabs on them. The kind of humor that goes on in this chat is stuff like this, these, those, and this.
Oh my god, this is going too fast.
Tabs on this.
I shouldn't have sped up the video.
The kind of humor that goes on in this chat is stuff like this.
Dude, this is nasty. What the fuck is this? This is crazy. Why? Why are you joking like this? This is gross. Like, there is like this saying that my uncles go by, a drunk man's words are a sober man's truths. I kind of like treat that with joking. Like, if you are frequently joking about this stuff, you're probably projecting. This is just insane.
In this, all coming from others and are two adults, an 18-year-old and a whole-ass 34-year-old. Speaking of Aya and Carlo, they're currently dating each other, and in this post Carlo forwarded to his art channel, he is well aware of the fact Aya recently turned 18 in September, meaning we got a grown-ass 34-year-old dating a freshly new 18-year-old. Their history goes a bit further.
Hey, Zed, I will look at your DMs after the live stream, okay? Thank you.
Though, as we given some leaked messages between the two dating back in July when Aya was still a minor, he and Carlo were clearly talking about how he's getting closer to Sappho, even becoming an admin of the band Coyote Lovely.
Failure said I watched it when it all went down, kind of telling how Lio Convoy screamed in that chat like a man baby over a genuine criminal.
Channel we talked about in the Sappho video, saying how he needs to be careful to not get any Stockholm Syndrome going on, meaning he's well aware of what he's getting himself into. Carlo,
yeah, you don't even joke about nobody saying jokes about this. Yes, completely agree.
Says he'll watch over him, encouraging him to go further down this mess, with Aya saying he'll be risking his image to get close to her before talking about Coyote Lovely for a bit. Of course, it doesn't help that Aya would state he's a zoophile just a few days later, and an old reply back in April shows that Carlo was well aware of one of Sappho's alt Twitter accounts before people put the pieces together, because, you know, making jokes with the known zoophile and pedo is an epic haha funny moment. The most ironic part about the two of them dating is that Carlo can't even play the adult card, because when in a Twitter space with a 19-year-old, he specifically mentions how they're a teenager in his eyes, meaning by his own logic he views Aya as a teenager as well.
Guys, how old are you?
I'm 19.
Hi, JFA.
Oh, so you're a teenager too, got it. Oh my god, wow, the teenager is older than the other teenager. Oh wow, such a win, such an own. Oh my god, look, a year.
Carlo has also gone on to try and manipulate not once, not twice, but 3 times recently. The first instance was with Twitter user IcyDude and goes as follows. IcyDude would report a post made on a Carlo alt account, and in doing so the account would get suspended. Icy would post this publicly on Twitter, and then Carlo would start to lose his mind on another account and start to spiral out of control. Carlo would then message Icy a picture.
Dude, that is insane. Leave me alone, leave me alone.
And then Carlo would start to...
What? This is like, what is going on? What is going on? Lauren, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it.
To lose his mind on another account and start to spiral out of control. Carlo would then message Icy a picture of his injured arm and start to berate him for getting his account banned, straight up calling him a supporter of kid stuff among other things. Carlo would then block him. Icy would find the contact info of his parents and call them to make sure he's okay, also telling people affiliated with him that he's just making sure nothing drastic happens to show they weren't doing anything out of malice. Carlo would unblock him, post and quickly delete Icy's docs, and so Icy would message him asking him what the hell he did that for, in which Carlo would say that it was his team of people that did the doxing and not him, saying that he's better than Kiwi Farms, that his team doxed him before they figured out he actually cared, and that if he really was an asshole he would post the docs again, despite, you know, hanging around people that...
Dude, like, how? Why? Why is this ever okay? If I was an asshole, I'd post your docs again on my Twitter, but I'm not. People were mad that they gave it to me. This person is like completely unhinged.
Dox others if they don't like him. The next...
It's just, I'm just perplexed as to like how even Coyote Lovely thought it was like a great idea to just defend them. It's just, it's crazy. Like going over the Senate call with that Lio has with Zrcarlo and Coyote Lovely is just, dude, Coyote Lovely is such a dumbass for defending this person.
Next time would be when Dan and Carlo were speaking with each other.
And these are people that Lio Convoy associated with. This is just insane.
And Dan would bring up the fact he tried to do so in the DMs on the Zoophile Strugs.
Thuman says, wait, did all this happen before or after they moved in with Coyote? I think this was like, this could possibly be before, but I also think it was during, possibly. Leah, you might want to do a deep dive into Diddy. His house got raided by Homeland Security and he ran into Antigua where there is no extradition. Yeah, I'm going to look into that. Well, you'll see a live stream on that this weekend.
Alt account before, and after not falling for none of his bullshit, Carlo would try again once more, with Dan standing her ground and telling him straight up she ain't falling for that. Now you may be thinking, why exactly are Dan and Carlo talking with each other, especially after all that nasty stuff Carlo did to her? Well, it turns out Dan was the one who gathered most of the dirt used in that Google document, and Carlo was well aware of that before it was released, tweeting it out on his private account. Since Dan wasn't falling for any of that, Carlo was forced to strike up a deal with her to try and silence her, mass deleting a whole boatload of posts he made on transphobic L's, spreading around a Google document on her a friend made, a Google document that Carlo used to call the police on her, causing her to have a massive panic attack, get her sent to the hospital, and get her prescribed Xanax just to calm her down. Yeah, fuck this piece of shit. I'm glad Dan exposed his ass for the world to see. So, after going all this information, there's gotta be something out there that gives us some kind of insight as to why Carlo does all these things, right? Well, there is, as back on May 22nd earlier this year, Carlo would get in a call with Coyote Lovely and some people I don't know, after they were made aware of some of the stuff
And some people I don't know. That's hilarious.
he done. They'll first talk about the Kiwi Farms thread made on him, then go on about some other miscellaneous stuff, and then finally get into why Carlo took the Zoophile Strugs account if it
Okay, so let's see if they... Yeah, so the rest of it is in regards to this call. I'm going to skip it because we're going to go over the full call in a second. So let me fast forward.
doxing and sending stuff to their house was all just to get back in the good graces of a furry pin making business. Insane. It's absolutely insane. We've already seen how he doesn't care about victims, and this call shows just how far he's willing to take his selfish desires, going as far to hide under a Twitter account that on the surface is for a noble cause, only to find out the person running it is one of the worst people I've ever seen on the internet. Once a clip of the video made it to the public, he decided he's gonna die on this hill that he started harassing people for years, all for fucking furry pins. I said at the beginning of this video that this was one of the deepest rabbit holes on the channel yet, but after going—
Okay, so that's the end of the video. Let's go over the Zrcarlo call. This is Lio. So what this call is this happened. I don't know when exactly this happened. But it was uploaded by Barrel Senate Call Archive and it's been unlisted. This call specifically is Coyote Lovely. This is Lio confronting Zrcarlo about all the shitty things that they've done, all the shitty things that they've been outed for. And Coyote Lovely, one, doesn't take the call seriously and then pushes Lio to the point where Lio gets really pissed off, right? And then, two, Coyote Lovely decides to defend this person. Now, while this call is taking place, this is speculative on my end. I don't know if this is this is factual, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is factual. But again, this is speculative. I would not be surprised if during this call, Coyote Lovely was already talking to Hypnotist Sappho. So let's see.
All right, you can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I have literally less than no clue of who you are outside of the fact that you're Coyote's roommate, and you run the Zoophile Strugs accounts for whatever reason. Lately, Coyote's been kind of getting inundated with people accusing you of being a zoophile. What is—
And Coyote, at the time of this call, Coyote was living with Zrcarlo. And let me reiterate who Coyote Lovely is. Coyote Lovely is was a former predator hunter that Lio used to associate with. Lio was slow, very slow in disavowing him and very slow to cut off contact with Coyote Lovely. People were sending Lio information saying, hey, Lio, Coyote Lovely is like having inappropriate conversations or flirtatious conversations with Hypnotist Sappho. And Lio's response specifically when it came to Coyote Lovely was that the person was a conspiracy theorist and that you shouldn't believe it, right? And then all this stuff comes out about Coyote Lovely, right? And then Lio, when all this stuff comes out about Coyote Lovely, Lio gets mad at Coyote Lovely. Good night, Thuman. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I can't wait for your video. I cannot wait for your videos. W. Thuman. W. Thuman. Thank you. So while this was happening, or when it was found out that Thuman says you need to watch something wholesome at the end of the stream to palate cleanse your eyes. We'll definitely watch something wholesome for sure. Thank you for the suggestion. I really appreciate it. W. Thuman. When all this stuff was coming out, or when this stuff came out about Coyote Lovely, Peaches and Lio decided to jump into a call and confront Coyote Lovely. And then during the call, instead of like getting onto Coyote Lovely about the hypnotist Sappho stuff, they decided to get onto Coyote Lovely for ignoring a victim and prioritizing another victim, a Bloomin' victim, and prioritizing something else, another victim over that first victim, like invalidating victims. And then Lio turns to Coyote Lovely and is like, you know, when your friends do something bad, you gotta hold them accountable. It was pretty much along the lines of that. Don't quote me verbatim because he didn't say that exactly, but he said along the lines of, you know, when your friends do something bad, you have to disavow them and hold them accountable. You got to address things on hand, or you got to address things like head first. You got to address them right away and be direct in addressing them. This is interesting. It's interesting that that Lio Convoy is giving this kind of advice to Coyote Lovely, but then goes and, like, when it comes to Peaches, they kind of just like leave them, and they're kind of just defending them, and they're just ignoring Peaches and their actions in the FCK server. So it's interesting. It's crazy how the Coyote Lovely drama can be applied to the Peaches stuff and the FCK server. It's just interesting.
What is this all about?
Oh my goodness. So back in 2018, I ran the sadist investigations, like the one that had Kiro in them and everything.
Jingo says, remember when Rosa's health wasn't an excuse for taking 4 days to ban a groomer? Interesting how Lio's excuse is not immediately banning Coyote was a mudblood pressure. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Like, Jingles, you make a good point right there. They were so pissed off at Rosa for not taking action, right? When in fact they did. They reported the predator to the Discord owner, and the Discord owner told them, hey, we'll take care of it. But also, Rosa had mod status in this Discord. But I think they were called Necopon. Necopon had a higher mod status than Rosa, and Rosa wasn't able to unban them. But that didn't stop Lio. That did not stop Lio from having that abusive 4-hour call with Rosa Ray Ramsey.
I don't mean to take a bunch of, credit for a lot of it, but
it just seems like, just to go off of what you're saying, Jingles, it definitely seems like, Lio is so quick to jump onto people and be like, well, you associated with this person. This person is bad. This person is bad. You shouldn't be doing this stuff. You shouldn't be having this person in your area or in your social circles. But then has people like Coyote Lovely and Zrcarlo directly in their social circle. I think a lot of sketchy characters came from the Senate Discord. A lot of them. One of them, like, one of the people that I heard that I haven't looked into, but people are saying, like, it's the claims that are being made about this person are not true, but I don't know. I don't know for a fact. I might have to look into it. Was Sasu Frasu. supposedly Sasu was in the Discord harassing women in that specific Discord, and Lio had to call him out and say, "Hey, stop doing it." But for whatever reason, Sasu was allowed to exist in that Discord. No, I don't think they exist in that Discord anymore. But it's just interesting how these sketchy individuals, these really shitty people, come from the Senate Discord.
I kind of ran the bridge community, which was ZSIS, also colloquially known as ISIS for hilarious reasons. So it was a bridge between the Kiwi Farms people, the Zoophiles, and a few other small independent groups like Dog Patches Group and
Or and Ephraim did it too. Yeah, Ephraim's another person that's specifically interesting. Ephraim is still in the Senate Discord.
for Avengers, which split off from
Doodle Tones. Doodle Tones is another sketchy person that comes from the Senate Discord.
And because I would listen to what Zoophile said, I got labeled as a Zoophile. Although that wasn't actually the biggest problem at the time, ironically enough. The biggest issue at the time was I was helping moderate Xanadu, which was a split off of the alt furry chat room, which was frankly a big mistake. I didn't think it was important. So got labeled as a Nazi, and then when Nazi was not as trendy anymore, got labeled as a Zoophile, and then
Hornetbot says, "Did you hear Lio's dumbass reason for hiding this call from the public?" No, what was the reason why? Cassie says Ephraim was one of the most annoying ass people on earth. He is very unique. JFA says the one thing you can count on predators doing is hiding in plain sight, Leah. Yeah, I mean, I was tricked this week, so that's for sure. That's for sure, JFA. Zad says, fun fact, Leah, Hitten is still in the server since they've always talked about don't use slur or be ableist. That's insane. Jingles says, I've heard from a Senate user that most of the people who left the Senate returned after Crystal Flame's video on how Lumi and Peaches stole a victim story. Asspats. I agree. I definitely agree. It's a hug box in there. That's for sure.
when Zoophile wasn't as trendy anymore, got labeled as a Zoo sadist, and a bunch of that stuff was actually by Saul Skunk, who basically.
So Hornetbot says Lio's reason was the live stream was in Hopeless Peaches' channel. I'm in a video description. He was want to troll someone by making a video public for a day. He also struck Pooh's re-upload of this call. That's interesting. He made the call public and then privated it. That's the dumbest reason. He should have kept this call public. Lio, if you still have this call, please publicize it.
Oh, that's an interesting situation.
And the only reason why I say please publicize it, because this is the one point in time where I'm okay with you absolutely yelling at somebody.
Back when Xanadu was, existed.
Or also your call with Coyote Lovely. I'm absolutely okay with you losing your shit on Coyote Lovely. The reason why I'm okay with it is because these people are sound of mind. They're grown adults. They know this. But the shit that happened with I gotta watch my language, guys. The crap that happened with Rosa Ray Ramsey, that is inexcusable because Rosa Ray Ramsey is legitimately handicapped. Didn't Doodletone become Lio's favorite person after the Peach drops Google Docs on Lio? Yes. They have the same name in Discord.
It was run by Len Gilbert and Blumier. Blumier became my friend. I knew Len Gilbert. I never really got close to him. Basically, Blumier was a baby fur who was manipulated into hating himself for being a furry. A large contributing factor was a person named Nixius Furious and a person named Saul Skunk, who is now a self-admitted pedophile neo-Nazi who is running a chat room or channel.
Really? You're gonna deny? You're gonna deny Zrcarlo? I have some criticism for you. If you are going to deny a certain event that is of very significance of Jewish people, myself included, and you're going to go around calling people neo-Nazis, I have an issue with that. I do not like that. I don't like that. If you are going to be anti-Semitic and then virtue signal and call people Nazis that don't agree with you, you're a piece of shit. I don't like that at all. Do not like that at all.
Called Cubs with Captions, which is basically they take Cub art and they give it really bad captions. And in his comments and everything like that on Telegram, people are trading real child porn. So I didn't really call him out because I didn't really have a platform to call him out. I created an evidence channel against him. We linked that up to a Kiwi Farms account that essentially put me on Kiwi Farms. I've got a recording of that.
But Leah, she needs those persona pins. Yeah, she definitely does.
And yeah, so he just makes up stuff, puts it on Kiwi Farms, and gets enabled, ironically enough, even though he's got a thread on Kiwi Farms, but nobody cares.
JFA, thank you for the pass. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to try not to use that word.
So there's that.
It's just a personal goal of mine.
I know nothing about that individual. I guess, do you believe that they're the one that made the thread about you then?
Yeah, I've got a recording of him.
Why haven't you interacted with that thread?
It's Kiwi Farms. Why would I interact with it? There's, like, if you interact, you get a bullet through your head, pretty much. Like, there's no point in ever posting.
That's not accurate, because I've interacted with the farms and people have accused me of nonsense, and I didn't wind up with a bullet through my head. In fact, I wound up shaming the person who'd made the accusations.
It's interesting how Lio is a locale, but he uses Kiwi Farms. I'm perplexed. I don't understand how a locale is going to use the Kiwi Farms. It's just interesting.
I don't understand.
Most locales hate Kiwi Farms. Thoughts on Kiwi Farms? I don't hate Kiwi Farms and not Keffels at all. I don't think Kiwi Farms is that bad with the way that it is represented, I guess.
How do you not understand?
My interactions with Kiwi Farms is the whole entire purpose of my thread was to try to bait me.
I don't type anything on Kiwi Farms though. I do not type anything on Kiwi Farms.
Into interacting with them and posting on it and everything. I was friends.
I wonder what Lio's thoughts on Kiwi Farms now. Yeah, didn't they make a thread about him? Like a huge ass thread about him?
With Nier, who killed himself over that. So Kiwi Farms and everything. I was actually Bloomier was friends with Nier and trying to figure out exactly who put him up there. Ironically enough, there was a guy called CIA N-word, and he was the one that created the Nier.
Tempest says he's so much of a locale that he doesn't realize he's one. Yes, definitely. The Farms has a lot of issues, but they are skilled archivists. Yes, I agree. That's a better way of putting it.
Thread. Evidently, he felt bad for putting Nier up there and eventually befriended him.
I thought Kiwi Farms was banned. No, it's not banned. It's still around.
But he didn't tell him, and then Blumir found out and told Nier, which was the point of investigation. I was too busy fighting the old Zeus Drugs account person who ended up saying a bunch of really sus shit.
Well, you're going down the rabbit hole here, and that's not what I need. I asked you a very specific question here, and you said you don't understand what I said. What did I say that you did not understand?
I mean, you asked me to post in my Kiwi Farms thread.
Okay.
Is that what you asked?
I said, if they are wrong, why are you not arguing against that? Why are you not disproving their claims?
Because it's bait.
How is it bait if you're right?
I mean, I think we have a fundamental, I think we understand Kiwi Farms to be a completely different website.
I don't think we do. I think you're scared of it.
What? So you want me to post on Kiwi Farms?
My point is, if they are saying things you can demonstrate are incorrect, why don't you demonstrate that they're incorrect? Because there's one thing I do know about Kiwi Farms. If you wind up dunking on the guy lying about you and prove definitively that he is, they will turn on him. That's how that works.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll just do that. I made a website.
I do want to clarify, and this is, I know that I wasn't asking anything directly, but I do want to clarify that this has been brought up, this Kiwi Farms thread, in multiple other places like on Twitter, and Zrcarlo has actually responded when it is directly brought up, and they actually have a lot of that, like a lot of the logs and stuff, to verify a lot of the things they've told me, that they'll link to people and stuff like that. That's kind of how they're addressing it. They're not doing it directly on Kiwi Farms, but I have observed that this is something they do on Twitter.
It's crazy how Coyote just like defends them right there. Crazy. Oh, but Zrcarlo responded to the thread on Twitter. Well, that doesn't matter, Coyote. Like, Lio's specifically talking about Kiwi Farms.
Twitter, whenever they're confronted with this, like people who are like trying to call them out for this, things like that, they just drop a link to where they have the evidence. So if you actually have the evidence on hand, that would probably be good.
There you go. Yeah, I built a whole entire website around it so I could avoid Kiwi Farms.
I do apologize for interjecting. I just wanted to clarify that one point because, you know,
I will also, if I do post on Kiwi Farms, I'm concerned I will be attacked by it by my own community, because it's...
Yeah, Vidal makes a good point. Eliza, you are not dumb. You're not dumb. You're totally cool.
Do you have a Kiwi Farms account?
Yeah.
Is that the account that they exposed in that thread?
Yeah.
Then why are you worried about your community attacking you when you've already...
Jingle said Coyote couldn't bury his nose deeper if he tried. So true. So true.
You posted on Kiwi Farms.
Because my friend killed himself. I'm sorry, like...
Kiwi Farms being taken down is a statement that is repeated by bad actors like Keffels or H. Bomber Guy. Also, Xander Hall will also say that. Xander Hall used to say that in favor of Keffels. Xander Hall used to be like, "Oh, she took down Kiwi Farms. Look at Keffels. Oh, look at Keffels." And it's like, it's still up, dude.
My friends are like, I mean, my Kiwi Farms account predates a lot of that stuff, and that's basically what my excuse was. And I'm just like, okay, because one of the biggest issues of the previous owner of the Zoophile Drugs account was they were attacked multiple times for having a Kiwi Farms account, and I was just like, okay, you know, I do have one, and you see that the old post. I'm sorry, there's somebody revving an engine in the background. But yeah.
Why do you continue operating the Zoophile Drugs account if it gets you nothing but this grief?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
No, that's the old owner.
I'm not talking. Okay, I'm about to get really frustrated here, so I'm going to ask that one other person in this call that's an adult step in before I lose my patience.
Go ahead, Hate.
I have a question about this drugs account because I watched, I think, your preamble video on it. Didn't you say it was owned by minors?
Yeah, it was owned by minors, and then it was passed on to a person who was 17, and they owned it. And then they turned 18, and I exposed them.
Okay. Another random question I had real quick. So you, once it was taken down, you took ownership of it, but the question I have pertains to the handle that's under your YouTube account name. You openly asked questions about sex ed and experience regarding sex to people of any age, which included minors. Can you explain?
JFA says Lio is scary. Yeah, you should be shaking in your boots. Hold on one second.
Explain to me the rationale of that or the relevance of that.
I mean, I made a post asking what people learned in sex ed, and people responded.
Do you think that was something appropriate to discuss?
I don't understand the problem with going on Twitter and asking what people learned in sex ed, especially if it relates to like I mean, sex ed is for minors.
The fact that
that's what it is. That's what we all learned in school.
The fact that they use that sex ed is for minors is just like, oh my God. Really? That's your reasoning. That's very logical right there. That's logical thinking. That's insane.
Okay.
Are you just really bad at the understanding of optics?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Cassie.
Probably.
It's one thing to ask, like, I don't know, 18+ year olds if their experience with sex ed was different than yours. you shouldn't really be asking kids their opinions on that sort of thing.
Can I ask a question very quickly? I just want to clarify, just since I am recording. The question, was that just in a tweet, not directed at anybody, or was it directed at somebody?
It was just
it was a tweet on his account.
Yeah.
Okay,
he
but
was
my
asking
question
in general. He didn't specify age. He just said any age.
okay.
Or actually, the specification was any age.
Okay, so it was not directed at anybody in general. I think. Okay, so it basically was asking a general.
Even if it's direct, even if the statement is direct or not direct, that's an irrelevancy. That doesn't matter. That does not matter. That person said that inappropriate statement. It's the facts at hand. Jesus.
Question to the people following the account. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just wanted to have that on record. Because I just didn't want it to be misconstrued as, oh, he asked minors specifically, or he did not ask minors specifically. That's all I'm doing is clarifying.
He is simping hard. I literally do not understand why it took Lio Convoy to so long to get rid of these people. Like with me, it's like a one and done kind of thing. When you do something that is degenerate in my eyes, you're done. You're gone. That's it.
Yes. And minor, from what I could tell from the evidence, minors had responded to it, and I mean, it's something you can't control in that sense, but at the same time, you weren't really making any attempt to, like, I don't know, specify and just say this is.
Is it bad to ask in general what people learn in school as a minor?
In regards to sex ed, I would say so.
But that's what people get taught in school.
It's one thing if you wanted to ask somebody about what they learned in math class versus what they learned about sex and sex ed.
Carlo, how old are you?
I'm 33.
Okay, you're definitely old enough to know what we're talking about and know better than this.
They are older than me, BTW.
Walk up to a literal child and ask what they were taught in sex ed, like one-on-one in real life?
No, but if I make a post on...
Why?
Because talking to children is bad.
Because talking to children about what they learn concerning sexual education, if you are an adult, is inappropriate.
Leah, how much do you know about H8 hates? I don't know a whole lot.
That's what hate's getting at and what you seem to be struggling with.
So, okay.
Or hate. That's their name, hate. I don't know a whole lot about them.
On Twitter.
Was that another person that I need to look into, Hornetbot?
What do you recommend to...
Mighty Arch says, Lio is a hypocrite. He waited a week to kick out Coyote, but bash at Rosa for doing nothing and to ban Necopon for 8 months. I completely agree. He's very slow at it. Hey, Sliggins. Very slow at it.
I don't know, like...
Before you ask that, hold on. Before you ask that, I want you to take a look real quick. Without clicking on a link, just look at what you posted, the Saul Skunk evidence. Do you see?
Jingle says all you need to know about hate is that he favored punching bag, or he's the favorite punching bag of the Senate. Oh, yes, I did hear about this person then. I did hear about this person. That person, if I get things correct here, there is more information that is supposed to come out about this person that they would frequently, like whenever a mistake was made, they would frequently blame this person. Am I correct? And that was hate. Am I correct? They would like abuse this person because they I don't know exactly what, but Beckett told me about this verbally. I don't think he's gone over this on his channel at all yet. Because I think more information is supposed to come out, but what I heard was that there was a particular person in the Senate Discord that made a mistake, and Peaches and Lio would use the fact that they made that mistake as like a controlling mechanism against them, and they would just blame this person for all the bad things that happened horribly. And they would like abuse them. Yeah, that's hate. They abuse the hell out of hate because he'll take it. He'll just agree with whatever is said. That's so sad.
What says right underneath that?
Yeah.
What does it say?
18
Hey, Kobe.
plus, not safe for life content inside.
18 plus only, yeah.
Yes, we're finishing up what happened in what I wasn't able to finish up in yesterday's live stream.
That's what you do. It's not difficult. You already know how to do it.
Okay.
And